Okay. So Andy forgot his lines on what he's supposed to be saying to Monique and his questioning. We're going to let Candace sit up here and talk straight cash for a whole episode and nobody say anything. But we're going to let her be so upset and such the victim that she got to run off camera and gather herself. Okay. Y'all tried it. And I'm sick of it. Let's talk about it. All right, we're going to talk about this. Let me adjust my camera. Let me get my stuff together. So I had to pull out my notes because this is a lot. And to me, it's a lot of nothing. Y'all literally sat up here and let Candace go a whole segment without even telling her, Candace, please be quiet. Candace, I'm talking to Monique. Candace, or I'm talking to Ashley. Candace, or I'm doing this. She had something to say about everybody's segment. Even she tried to chime in on Giselle and throw her on the bus and get a little slick shade in on her. Had something to say about everybody's segment. But then when it's Monique's turn, she turned it up a notch. Talking crazy, calling the girl the victim, this, that, and the other. The hypocrisy. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Then when it's finally time to address the elephant in the room, which is the doggone fight, oh, she's so distraught. Oh, she just can't take it. Oh my God, I'm such the victim. And you guys don't understand it. I'm tired of Bravo, Andy. See, and I'll be truthful about it. I think Andy knew what he was doing. He gave Monique the first section because he knew that what she had was juicy. And he had to have an avenue to finish it off at the end. But I also know that Andy, being a producer, being the main person on this cast, running things from behind the scenes, I know that he has to also reprimand Monique. He just can't let it slide. But I think he started to reprimand her in a certain type of way. And then what happened was when Candace got upset and ran off the stage, did all this boo-hoo and kiki, ha, 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 I can't make it, I'm stressed, I'm depressed, I need my post-it notes. It threw Andy off. It even threw Andy off. And Andy had to rethink, regroup, and regather to determine what he was going to do. I really just feel like Andy just lost his train of thought. A lot of people going off on Andy, but I'm going to give Andy a pass because I know he just cannot let Monique get away with what happened. I just think that what he planned on doing and asking Monique went left when Candace got it. But anyway, I got my notes because this was a lot to take in. So let's get started. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay, I'm not going to harp on all these other real long because the meat of the thing is that Monique and Candace, it was just some bull. Okay, so we're going to start where we left off, which was Monique done cracked Giselle's whole face. Her face done fell on the floor. And we need a dustpan and a broom to sweep it up. So, they're still talking to Giselle about what's going on and if she trusts her relationship with Jamal and things to that effect. So, after they talk about that, they go on to a break. The break comes and they show Giselle and what's her face name with the skid marks on her hair? Robin. They show Giselle and Robin, and they are in the dressing room, and Giselle and Robin are talking kiki and trying to crack jokes on Monique, talking about, oh, she came with a whole binder. She had so much time on her hands. Yeah, she didn't film. Y'all iced her out. She could not finish the season. And so, yeah, she had time to bring up all sorts of dirt on you broads. And best believe, I think everybody has a tab in that binder. So, Robert, while you kikiing, trying to make your friend feel better, you trying to help pick up the pieces of her face, you might be next. So, if I was you, I would tread lightly. Then they show Monique and this is just so much. They show Monique and Ashley walking out, and Monique makes a point. My point, like I made at the beginning. She's so traumatized. She's so hurt. She needs all these meds and all this, but yet she talking smack through the whole segment. And it's true. For the whole episode, she throwing shade, subliminals, talking bad, talking crazy to Monique. I don't understand how you so terrified of somebody and so traumatic. The experience was so traumatic to you that you still got enough nerve to talk crazy to somebody. She done whoop your butt once for that, but yet you still feel like, I'm still saying what I want to say. That doesn't warrant you putting your hands on you. Yes, it do. Like you said, don't get mad at me because I can use my words. But don't get mad at Monique because she used them hands. How you like them apples? So they come back from break. And everybody is pretty much just regrouping, trying to sit down. So Andy goes over to Michael. And he's like, well, Michael's not here. Whereas Michael is at a wedding. He got his dates confused. He thought that the reunion show was next week and not this week. So he's at a wedding. Okay, Ashley, whatever. So they show clips of Ashley and herself through the year and through the season. And they show Michael, you know, and her and their issues. And they ask her about the girl in the hotel. And she's like, well, I don't believe they had sex. He said they cuddled. They're cuddle buddies or whatever they did. And the next morning, she asked him for money. Now, I'm going to take this one or two ways, really. Because Robin did bring up a valid point. Robin wanted to know, do you think she knew who Michael was? And that it was kind of like an extortion type thing. Really, I kind of think it is because you almost wonder how. I really feel like it was a setup. See, people ain't looking at this. Candace got the pictures from her friend that was actually at the same restaurant, bar, whatever, with Michael. And she was able to get close enough to get a picture of Michael with this girl. Now, they went back to the hotel, they did all that. Granted, they probably did have sex. But even if they didn't have sex and they were so drunk or whatever, and he couldn't get it up, she couldn't get into it, it just grossed her out, whatever. The next morning with her saying, you're going to have to pay me, would be like, either you pay me or I'm going to put this out on the blogs. So that could have went either way. It could have been, you knew I'm a call girl, you got services, transaction needed to happen, or nothing really did happen, and she thought about it, was like, this guy is worth money, and this, that, and the other, and if you want me to keep my mouth shut, you're going to have to pay me. So that's pretty much how I look at it. And then they were talking to Ashley about when he pinched the cameraman's butt. So they brought that back up, and Ashley is like, the guy is a friend. He calls Michael Zaddy. And I was like, okay. And she was like, and they have a relationship. And so you got Candace over here. Yeah, right. He had sex with the girl. Yeah, right. He pinched his ass. And I'm like, Candace, nobody is talking to you. But yet you keep interjecting into the conversation. So it's like, shut the up. Because you on here talking about you a victim, but really you're being aggressive. Shout out to Dr. Wendy Asefo. She's being aggressive. Black, white, yellow, green, orange, indifferent, whatever color you want to call it. The girl being aggressive. Stay out of people's business in their conversations. That's what she needs to do. So she talked about how they took affidavits on people on the issue, the incident, and everybody said the same thing. Nobody saw anything. And then Candace like, yeah, because they want to keep their job. Shut up, Candace. This is Ashley's segment talking about her husband, which you have no involvement in. The only thing was that you dropped a dime on it from your girlfriend that just happened to be at the same place Michael was. We're going to have to think about that one because I'm like, she happened to be there at the exact same time. Then she was able to get close enough to get a picture and then was able to send you all this tea. Okay, Ashley, you better watch out because little Miss Candace seems like she got little minions working for her to get stuff going and get stuff started. I would be very leery. I'm very leery of how her friend was able to be there at that exact time to get that. It don't add up. But anyway, we're going to move on because Michael, your ass shouldn't have been there. You shouldn't have been trying to buy some cooch. You shouldn't have took the raggedy cooch on back up to the room. You shouldn't have been in there getting caught up with your drawers on. It was a whole lot of things you should have, would have, could have been doing, but you didn't, so that's on you. So they asked Ashley if she's happy. You know, she's very happy. She said, how can, you know, she constantly forgive Mike. And she said, I forgive him because I've had my own indiscretions. She was like, I've done things and he's forgiven me. Same here. My husband is only attracted to women. That's a lie. Exit out. We just don't even say that anymore, Ashley. So then she says, Andy asked about the prenup. She doesn't have a prenup anymore. Why should she? She's on baby number 2. Y'all gonna let Ashley get her money. At the end of the day, Ashley is poised. She's well-spoken. She knows the game that she's in. She knows the end result that she's going to get by playing this game. And she really could care less about what you bras got to say about her, because she like, okay, at the end of the day, I'm still going to walk away. While Wendy over here trying to call her broke, baby. She got money because she on the show that you begged to get on. You broke because you got over $2 million in student loan debt. So which broke? Okay. So, moving on. Shut up, Wendy. Ashley, she know what she doing. The money is in the bag. She good. Why y'all worried about that girl? He can cheat on her. She don't want him no more. She like, okay, I got my 2 babies. And probably gonna have another one next season. And what? That's 2 chicks. Plus, no prenup. Plus, she'll get alimony, child support. Keep rolling them tapes, because she gonna use that in divorce court. Betcha. See what I tell you. So, it is what it is. So, like I said, note that, Little Miss Traumatized Candace got something to say about everybody's stuff. Who cares? So what? So, they talk about Karen and Karen going home and how did it feel going home. And, that everybody says she puts on this farce of who she is, the Grand Dame. And even Giselle had to say, Karen is a lot of fun. I don't know why she does it the way she, do it. So, they show flashbacks, and Andy was like, you have been putting on a persona, and then this season you seem to be more open. And then she was like, well, since my parents have died, I am more open to be free and to be who I am. And like she said, yeah, I must admit, I let my guards down and I'm able to, be the Karen that I want to be. And even Giselle was like, you didn't have to lie or whatever. And she was like, don't be mad at me because I've evolved and you haven't. I said, Lord, y'all ain't finna shade Karen. Y'all not finna do Miss Karen Huger, baby, because she gonna do it. She came ready. So what you gonna do? So they talk about Karen and her marriage, and about Ray saying he didn't like her. That he didn't love her anymore. Not that he didn't love her anymore. I think the words he used was, she said, are you in love with, Karen? He said, I don't know. I think so. And so I love the way Karen, when they try to throw a dagger at Karen takes that dagger, catches it in mid-air, turns it around, and put it right back on. That was like, Giselle found like, ooh, this is my moment. I just felt like this is something she's heard before, and she was just more embarrassed than anything. Karen's like, no, darling, let's get it straight. I've never heard that from my husband. I was not embarrassed. And I was just hurt. She was like, so get it right. And because Andy asked Karen about Ashley and her husband and fighting for her marriage. And she said, I stand beside Ashley for fighting for her marriage. They have children together, and I want them to work it out if that's what they want. And Andy shady ass gonna say, so, you concerned you want their relationship to work out, but what about Giselle? She said, well, I want Giselle's to work out too. I want her to have a family. It just needs to be a real family. I was like, Karen, now your ass the real MVP. And then Giselle was like, them 3-4 necks. No, I can't do it. I don't have but one neck. And so she was like, and then Andy looked at her like, okay. And she was like, what do you mean? And Andy was asking Giselle like, well, with Jamal, is it gonna be okay? Is everything? And she was like, I've been through this before. I'm fine. There's nothing. He's not cheating on me. She was just so defensive. And even Wendy was like, I think you say that, and that's what you portray on the outside, that everything is okay, but I don't think that's really how you portray on your inside. I was like, not you, Miss Wendy. You've been riding the Green Eyed Bandits coattail all season, all this reunion, and don't forget, you already done made Robin mad with that colorism comment when you looked over there at her. And she said, why are you looking at me? I guarantee you, Miss Wendy Osefo, when they get through with your business for this next season, if it's not Candace, if they get rid of Monique and Candace did her, if they don't tear Candace a new asshole, you're going to be first one on chopping block, baby, because you're going to see colorism at its best. And don't go to screaming, oh, they ganged up on me. No, 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 no. You picked your side from the beginning, baby. And so Andy was like, well, when you called Jamal, she was like, everything's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. G-O-O-D. Capital G, capital O, capital D, with an exclamation point. Capital G, capital O, capital D, period. We good. We good. They good, y'all. They good. Let the girl be good. So Karen just talked about how her marriage is important to her, and Andy gonna bust out. Said, well, they said that you didn't like that you didn't like Ray's penis, and that ain't the word he used. And Karen was like, come on now, Andy. He was like, do you like? She was like, that's disgusting. And I hate that somebody even said that, which is true. It was like, the man is old. Of course she don't like it, but don't ask her so she have to tell y'all. Let her keep that to herself. Who cares? Anyway, moving on. Okay, so finally we get to Monique's segment. They show Monique, her family, and everything going on, and then she lost Chitala, the bird. And everybody's rolling their eyes, and when they get through showing it, here go Candace again. Always the victim. The victim. But ain't you playing the victim? Your ass finna pull out a wad of tissue in probably 10 minutes and play the victim. If you so traumatized by this girl, why are you picking at her? Why are you being aggressive? Shout out to Wendy Acefo. Why are you being such a mean girl? Why are you being a bitch? Why are you being a little girl? Why are you acting like a child? Why are you poking the bear? And then when a bear wake up out of hibernation because you've been poking them and snatch your ass again, then you're going to be ready to cry. Oh, she just tagged me. She did. Nobody want to hear that. She's still picking at Monique, just like Kenya and Portia. You stayed picking at that girl because you want to get a reaction out of you. But the only thing is, Monique not even giving her, she paying her pure dust. And that's what's eating Candace up on the inside. But you doing all that. When the Acefo ain't said, Candace, come on now, Candace. Robin ain't said, Candace, stop. Giselle sitting right there beside you. Just wait. You'll get your turn to talk. Ain't nobody doing it. Y'all sitting up there, and Candace, they sending your ass out once again. You getting sent out again and again and again and again. And like I said, if they get rid of Monique, which I hope they don't, because I ain't going to want to watch it. But if they get rid of Monique and they leave Candace on there, Giselle and them going to get your ass off of their necks. And I guarantee you, it's going to be between you and Wendy. You and Wendy. Wendy done already picked her side, so then when it comes down to Wendy have to pick in her side with the green-eyed bandits over your petty little butt, over your childish butt, oh, you gonna see where your friendships really lie. So, then they get to talking to Monique, and Andy asks about, they were talking, I don't know how he got on money, but a lot of people had issue with this, and I have an issue with it too. He asked about the dynamics in the house. Oh, I know how they got on it, because Karen was talking about her LaDawn fragrance and how she was able to bail Ray out, and she didn't want the money back. And she was like, but that's what married couples do. We're here to support each other. And so Andy said, well, how does the dynamic work now that you ladies are bringing in money as well? And Monique was like, oh, that little chick from Bravo? Baby, that probably was why Andy turned on your ass so quick, Monique, because he was like, little chick from Bravo. You black. That's what he wanted to say. You black. You ain't had that before you came here, but y'all got to realize Monique is the only one sitting on that couch. Her and her husband are the only one really with status and money. She don't need the show like everybody else. And when Monique said, oh, I'm just happy to be able to take that money and invest it back in my business and this, and this. Oh, baby, Giselle could have just, if Giselle could have had x-ray vision and shoot a damn laser beam at Monique and take her ass out, she would have did it. She was so mad. Because they want to say Monique is braggadocious, but you ain't being braggadocious when you Housewives of Potomac, because aren't y'all the upper crest? Aren't y'all the elite? Aren't you all the best of the best when it comes to the franchises of women, the class, the elegance, the style, the homes, the social life? So she not bragging. It is what it is because y'all made the show out to be that. So okay, so he asked Robin. Robin broke ass. She can't even pay them $90,000 in tax. Why she on this season? I don't know why she's on this show. I don't know why she's on this stage. I don't know. But, oh, we do know. She's Giselle's lackey. So in order to stay on the show and keep getting $50,000 per season, she got to kiss Giselle's ass. And lick it, lap it, slap it up, flip it, rub it down. She's doing a real good job. So she deserves her check. And she said her and Juan make sure everything is split down the middle equally because she doesn't want to emasculate him. Girl, bye. Y'all ass is broke. Renting in that damn townhouse. Even Giselle shaded the shit out of y'all damn house. So don't nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to hear that. And they didn't ask anybody else. Like, he didn't ask Wendy if he did. He cut it. He didn't ask Giselle because she ain't got no man. Chris and Candace can't answer that question because y'all still living off her mammy. And, oh, Ashley rich. Filthy rich. So she got white man rich money. Old white man rich money. So, yeah. But that rubbed Andy the wrong way. But I got a problem with that because why the black ladies gotta need the Bravo check to be better? And why does it have to, why does it have to cause a problem in our household? Because we are well off. You didn't ask Beverly Hills that, about them getting their checks and how they men feel about it. So yeah, I had a real issue with it, Andy. You doing a little boss, boss Massa. Massa said, what you doing with your money? And Massa want to know why this money is little money. Ain't no little money about this money. And Massa want to know, so what I'm giving you ain't good enough, so Massa can't give and Massa can't take. So, okay, y'all better watch Andy. Andy be with the shit. So, they also talked about Ash, Monique's husband, when they had the night out with the husbands, and he had the bottle, and it was like, this Monique. And it was like, Wendy Osefo. I just thought that was just out of order and just very distasteful because we don't talk about sex like that. So, and then as Monique was like, what is she talking about? That's all we do talk about on this show is sex in our married life. And Ashley was like, duh, bitch, I just got through doing a whole segment on my husband and sex with the camera. Wendy, shut up. Just leave it alone. Shut up. Leave it alone. Shut up. So finally, we get to the fight. First thing Andy says, we do not condone violence. How you don't condone violence when Beverly Hills been on her slapping chicks, throwing wine, breaking glasses? When Portia and Kenya got into it, you don't condone violence, but you played this fight for every episode damn near for the season. Y'all ran it in the ground. It's the main storyline. You encourage it. Even though you don't condone it, you don't mind making that mighty dollar off of it. And that's what y'all been doing. Y'all been running it in the ground to the point that people are tired, even for the reunion. Yeah, we're here for it, but we're over it. And so Candace, she just, Andy asked about what happened. And so he asked Monique how she felt about it. And Monique was saying she was more concerned about what drove her to do it, which I get it. So the issue going around now is that Monique is not sorry. I don't feel like Monique is that she's not sorry. I just think that she's over it. And I was wondering why they didn't even show the clip of her talking to her pastor in counseling, being remorseful, talking about that Candace did not deserve it. Because they even talked about when they were at the fire pit and she picked a fight with Candace. And Andy was like, don't you think you did a little bit too much? She was like, I admit that. And Andy tried to help Monique by saying, she said she admits she was doing too much. Did you hear her? And then Candace was like, I don't want to hear it. Because see, Candace don't want to, at this point, Candace doesn't want an apology. Candace never wanted the apology. Let's get it straight. Because even if Monique sat up there and cried her eyes out, gave an apology, they was going to say her ass was fake. And I'm with Monique. I ain't finna let nobody see me cry. And not them anyway. So the thing about it to me was, they asked them if they had seen the footage. And so Candace, I got it in October, didn't look at it till February. Some mess. And then Monique was like, yeah, I reviewed the footage. Monique studied the hell out that footage. She knew what she was doing, and I ain't mad at her because she knew they was going to comfort her. But at the same time, she knew she had to be ready. So she studied every aspect of that. And every time she brought up something, the cast was like, that didn't happen. Okay, she said Candace triggered her. And they was like, no, she didn't. And Candace ass sitting over there welling up, getting it ready, getting it going, getting it ready. And she was like, what triggered me was when she did this. She did this under my chin. That did, Robin, that didn't happen. Giselle, that is a lie. That didn't happen. Wendy Osefo, that never happened. That's a lie. Cue the tape. Can you please roll that beautiful bean footage for me? You see on tape. Monique, get your hand out my face. Get your hand out my face. Candace. Let's not forget Candace had a knife in her hand too. See, y'all ass keep forgetting all that stuff. Candace had a whole, not a butter knife this time. She had a steak knife in her hand. And Wendy was the one that had to catch her and grab the knife out of her hand. But ain't nobody talking about that. See, she can wield weapons. She can use her words. But then when somebody put their hands on her ass, then she all miss. Okay. Then she said that she cut her with the glass. She said she grabbed her. She did feel a push. And then Andy talked about the push. She said, Giselle, people feel like that was you. She was like, it wasn't a push to start the fight. You a lie. She was like, it was a push to move her back. If you wanted to move her back, you would have got in the middle of them and did this. Full extension of your... Oh, look at my arms, y'all. Anyway, full extension of your arms to get them out of each other's face. You didn't do that. You pushed that girl. But at the same time, you pushed her. See, Candace want to be with that mess. Candace, you started this. You waved the knife. And you grabbed Monique. You admitted it in your psychology session with your psychiatrist that you grabbed her. When you Monique flipped to her. Do you want me to? Do you want me to? But when you grabbed Monique grabbed you and she handled you. And like Monique said, it was simultaneous. I grabbed her. The glass broke. She was willing. She was not willing the glass. She said the glass is what hit me inside my mouth and my tooth, bust my lip. Then, cue that beautiful bean footage. Candace up there. Candace more worried about keeping her wig on than getting her them hands off of her. And I'm like, that's why you got your ass whooped. Because personally, she could have had that wig. Because we were finna be rolling up in there. But that's me. I'm from the hood. We do things a little different. Because like, I'm like, Monique, don't put your hand. We don't do that. Don't put your hand. Don't do that. Don't do that. Get your hand out my face. She told her like she was talking to a child. Get your hand out my face. Then you grab the girl. Then after that, like they asked her, why did you meet? She said, no, they said you came back after her. And she was like, well, she was calling me a hood rat bitch. When they ain't said nothing about that now. You want to use trigger words. Wendy? Okay, we won't use trigger words, but hood rat ass bitch is okay. You didn't check your friend in that moment. You're fired. You out of here. Like Monique said, well, hell, if I'm fired, I'm be through with this show after this anyway. I'm going to finish up. You still talking Yeah. You still talking stuff, so I'm finna come on out here and finish this. Yeah, you still talking stuff. Yeah. You still talking. Don't be mad because I can use my words. Okay, don't be mad because she can use them hands. I keep telling y'all keep talking about y'all can't tell somebody how mad to get. Now you can't tell nobody how mad to get, but you can't tell nobody how to react once they done had enough of that mouth. See, we ain't grew up in private school around them little rich white girls, like I said in my other video. We grew up in a hood where you talk that stuff, you might need to be able to back it up. I'm just saying, you know, you gonna come up in my face, pointing your finger, and what you gonna do? When I come for you, oh, okay, well, I'm finna show you what I'm doing. I'm finna mollywop your ass. That's what we used to say. We'll mollywop your ass. And she got mollywop. So, they go to Candace. I mean, I just, but for a whole hour, reunion part 1, you had all this shit to say. You've been poking the bear at Monique all this time. Then we already 40 minutes, 45 minutes, because they were like the last 10 minutes of the thing. You poking Monique. Now when it's finally time for you to have something to say, you so overwhelmed with emotion that you can't even bring yourself to even have a conversation about it. I mean, as Andy asked some question, and then Monique was like, can I answer? Can I talk? He was like, no, I want to hear. She was like, no, you can't. You scared, ain't it? But you still yelling at folks. And Andy she was like, I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to Andy. Andy was like, I would like for her to answer it. And then Monique was like, okay, thank you, Andy. And Andy was just like, Monique, you just don't seem remorseful. I'm going to tell you what I really think what happened. Monique came with the receipts. He said, okay, I'm going to let you have the first segment on these receipts. And then we're going to let you do what you do. We're going to drag Giselle ass. We got proof. We can back it up. We ain't got to worry about no lawsuits. Okay, we good, we good, we good. Second segment, Monique, I'm going to have to get in your ass. And you know this. Because if you look at it, when Monique and Andy were talking, Monique was like, I'm more worried about how I let somebody get me to this place. Now, it's been over a year. And Monique is like, I was trying to he was like, you invited the ladies over, but you weren't remorseful. She said, I invited them over because I was scared that I was happy that no one got hurt. And then they said, she did get hurt. And he was like, well, Monique, Candace did get hurt. She was like, I was meaning putting them in hurt or harm's way. And I just want to apologize to them for that. And then they was like, you're still not remorseful. This. And she was like, y'all didn't see that. Y'all weren't around for that part because they didn't want to be. She went through counseling. She did all the steps. She did what production told her to do. She had her moments. They filmed it. They gave us a little tidbit of it. And then that was it. That's not her fault that y'all weren't there to, when she even had her Not for Lazy Mom come, she asked y'all to come out so you could see her growth, listen to what she had to say. And then Monique wanted to apologize to Candace, but they not talking about the part where when she did the lawsuit, she couldn't. And Candace, even if Monique apologized to Candace not going to be that type of broad that's going to take it and let bygones be bygones. She mad at Monique. She jealous of Monique just like everybody else is. And they want her off the show. It just is what it is. So, every time Monique said she did this, that didn't happen. Andy, right there with me, it didn't happen. She was well in the glass. We didn't see that. Even on Watch What Happened Live, he on there talking about which didn't happen. You a lie. Production showed it. But see, Andy is not going to okay production. People thinking that production was on Monique's side. Don't get it twisted. This Andy stuff. He knew production was going to show it. And I'm going to get back to my point where I said, I really feel like after he told Monique, I'm going to give you the first section. The first episode. The second episode, I am going to have to get in your shit, but it's going to be short and sweet. Because they're going to use this to go over to the third episode. I believe what happened, because if you look at the interaction between Andy and Monique, it's like with the first one, everybody was cued in. You know, her and Andy sat back there and asked a lot of questions. The questions that he asked, Monique was able to jump on them, or she tossed the ball to Karen. Karen tossed the ball over to Ashley. Ashley sent it back. It was smooth. This didn't go as smooth. Because even if you look at Monique's manuscript, she was like, I was just trying to figure out why. And then it went dead. And Andy was like, and then she was like, what you gonna say next? Because to me, it felt like that part was known what was going to happen. And it lost sight of it. It lost steam. Because, see, once he went to Candace, and Candace's mouth almighty was supposed to be the one that's going to talk. And she hurt me. And she did this. And she did that. Candace couldn't do it. She had to play the victim. That's why Giselle jumped in and was like, you know, we can't say how long it's supposed to take a person to get over an attack. We can't say what she needs to heal. Giselle wasn't even supposed to be a part of that. So it threw Andy. Then Andy was like, okay, well, Monique, you don't seem remorseful. She was like, I'm not saying that I'm not remorseful. I'm just saying I'm more concerned with me right now and how I let myself get to the point where I did something to somebody. And she never really got a chance to explain it because Candace jumped up and ran off the stage. When she ran off the stage, Andy was like, left like a deer in head. Watch it again. You could tell that it was something that went left. It didn't flow as smoothly as when they was tag teaming Giselle as. And I felt like Andy was setting it up to go like, did it, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, well, Candace, how do you feel? Just like when Monique said, I was wrong. I was doing too much. And Andy turned to Candace and was like, did you hear her? She was trying, and he couldn't, she said she did too much, but Candace wouldn't let it go. And it threw Andy off. He lost his train of thought and where he was. Then he had to go to something else. And then once he started pulling stuff out of his head, it made no sense to Monique. Because Monique was like, what are you talking about? And you even see her at one point do Andy like this. It was like, what? And then Candace gets up and leaves. It throws everything totally off track. My belief was that Andy is riding for Monique. Andy knows Monique is good. The storyline between Monique and Candace, they're going to have to fix it, figure out how they're going to make it work. But it will be good for next year because if you get rid of Monique, when you bring in a new person, who the Green Eyed Bandits going to turn on? They're going to Wendy ass, I'm telling you. But they next person to get off is Candace because Giselle don't like Candace. Candace done went on Twitter, Instagram, called later a house, $1 million tear down, a cabin in the woods. They talk real bit reckless about it. Then you got Wendy over there when they asked her about the colorism thing. She looked right at Robin. Robin's like, why are you looking at me? Y'all two, Wendy and Candace, if they get rid of Monique, y'all next on the chopping block. Which I think they'll probably go after Candace first because she's less likable. And Giselle not gonna go at her so hard or so quick. But they know in order to get Wendy, they need to get a little bit more information on Wendy and set something up, which would be Wendy and Karen. But see, now they know they can't necessarily pull Karen into that because Karen is chopping down all fires. Just like Giselle went on there and said something about Wendy that Karen said. Karen went on and said, that's a lie. Karen not going. So I just feel like it got off when they were kind of trying to roll it slow. And then when Candace went into the crybaby mode, it threw everything off. Then Giselle interjected. It threw everything off. Monique was on the brink of giving a slight apology. And Andy was she tossed it to Andy. He tossed to her, how do you feel? I did too much. Andy called and was like, did you hear what she said? Because Andy is trying to mend the fence. She was remorseful for that. But Candace wouldn't hear it. She too busy. She finally got one tear to trickle down on this side. She was on this side. I just don't understand how somebody, and I think Andy kind of felt a little bad and was like, shit, what we gonna go from here? Then she got so emotional and like Monique was like, I can't. Like, y'all did this for a whole year and now we in here, y'all been doing. The girl been talking crazy to me for over 3 hours and y'all ain't said nothing. And now all of a sudden, it's a river of tears. Cry me a river. Monique was like, I'm over it. She was like, I just don't know, And then when Candace leave, Monique is looking at Andy. Andy looking at her. They both like deer in headlights because the way they had it set up, the way they did Giselle was the way they was going to do Candace. It was going to be a back and forth. You give a reason, she gonna say something. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna interject. And it just threw it all off. And they both were sitting there like, because a lot of people was like, Monique is gonna get fired. They see the writing on the wall, a lot of things. And I think she may get fired. But Bravo is about that check. And they was like, how can you bring them back together? In my personal opinion, y'all need to let Monique bring a friend on. Because Candace brought on Ashley brought on Candace. Candace brought on Wendy Osefo. Karen didn't necessarily bring anybody on, but Giselle brought on Robin and Karen. And the only person left on there that has not had a friend to come on and be on their side is Monique. So if y'all keep Monique, y'all need to let her bring in a friend. That'll balance it out. And this whole thing about icing people out and not wanting to film, I don't get that. You getting paid to do a job. And when I tell you that she having an event, your ass better show up. If you don't show up, you don't get paid for not showing up. Or you're going to get penalized and you may not come back. I don't think that they should be able to ice anybody out on a show. It is what it is. And in order for it to work, they're going to have to give Monique a friend of the show. They're going to have to. I would even suggest that they bring back Sherman's ex-wife to be on the show. That would get so far up under Giselle's skin, she would probably quit on her own. So y'all going to have to bring somebody in that has money, has the influence, money influence, has the societal status that people know and respect. Because he don't nobody know Giselle, don't nobody respect her. You bring somebody in like that, like Sherman's wife, that everybody knows that's hung out with Sharice and all these inner circles. She's beautiful. She has a lot to offer, a storyline. Then I'm going to tell you, that's going to shut Giselle down. And you take Robin out from a leading lady and put her on as a friend of the show. You can leave her because Giselle going to need somebody to vent to because she ain't got nobody. She don't like Candace, but she'll use Candace. She can't go to Karen. She can't go to Ashley. Wendy, she gonna only go to for so long. And I'm gonna tell y'all, watch What Happens Live, because Wendy's whole tune has changed. He asked her about Monique and about, she's so more, I'm like, no, you ain't almost team Monique, talking about, well, I just wanted them in the same room and I just needed them to talk about it. And you know, that's just Monique's personality. I don't know her, but she's just so stoic and she's hard. Yeah, because Monique ain't finna let y'all see her sweat. And I ain't going to give you the benefit of the doubt trying to make me apologize. And like I said, even if Monique apologized, they're going to say, oh, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's not fake. If she apologized. She already said the girl didn't deserve it. But y'all kept pushing it and pushing it and poking the bear and poking the bear. So she like, you know what? Forget y'all. I'm not going to do this with y'all. And she has every right not to. So that's kind of how it ended with Candace walking to the back room, crying her eyes out, cry me a river. I just don't understand. You understand? You kept talking shit for 2 seasons, then you finally got popped. That ain't hard to understand. That is not hard to understand. So next week, Sunday, guys will be on there, and then it should get a little bit more heated. And I think some more stuff will come to light. Robin is trying to throw around her wand weight, and I'm pretty sure he got a tab in there while him and Michael probably somewhere off together having a bachelor party with just them two. Catch that, because that's what Juan said. Oh, we'll just have a bachelor party on our own, just you and I. One got bills that they can't pay, and this rich white man that like boy booty. I don't know. Allegedly, you know. His wife said he like women. I don't know. So, tell me what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments down in the comment section. We'll discuss it. But other than that, we'll wait for Sunday to see where it goes. I don't know. Monique, it's about a 50-50 chance right now, because that last segment, yeah, you and Andy kind of dropped the ball on that one. But who knows? It may come back around. I think the two Chris's get into it, which is sad. But hey, it is what it is. Chris has a right to be mad. That was another thing, the plot. Andy hit on the plot, but he left it real fast because he wanted to say it wasn't filmed on the show. It was, because it was after your baby shower. And the fact of the matter is, Candace is the one who revealed the plot. But he just skated by it. But I think he skated by it because he wanted it for the 3rd episode. So I'm thinking he didn't want to harp on it too much because he wanted the binder gate to be opened back up so that they know it's a part 3, which is the plot. And that's what Chris is going to come out and talk about. Y'all said this. And then note that Gigi, the friend, she's come out and said, I never said they slept together. I never said Monique and the trainer slept together. I just said they was flirtatious and very close to each other. So she's backpedaling too and saying, look, hold on. Y'all done spent this whole thing. I said that the girl was too flirty with the man. And that's all I said. I ain't never say that they slept together and there was that man baby. They put that spin on her, which is true, because remember, Candace said that the plot was that we was going to bring it to the show, and that she was messing around with the trainer, and that the baby wasn't Chris's. And so, in another reason, I'm really thinking Andy don't want to talk too much about their plot, because remember in Monique's live, she said that they took it to all the producers, because each lady has their own producer. And they took it to all the producers and to Andy, the main people, and they said, no, we're not touching it. We're not going to drag kids into this paternity test or situations into this. We're not going to do that. Let's dead it. That's what Monique said, that they deaded the rumor and they was not to talk about it. But Giselle brought it up on the show. That is where the issue came in, and Andy allowed it to be played for the season. So if y'all deaded the whole thing and nobody was supposed to talk about it, because see, that's why they had Sharice on the show. Sharice kept popping up so that they can give her an avenue to talk. Like when they were at Ashley's baby meet and greet, they asked Monique about I just said her name, Sharice, and Monique kept saying, leave it alone, Giselle. Leave it alone, Giselle, because they was trying to get a conversation going where it could escalate to Sharice probably popping out saying, don't be mad at me because you're around here sleeping with the trainer. And see if somebody on the outside of the show had brought it in, it could have ran. But because Giselle couldn't get that to work, she tried it 2 times. She tried it at Candace's 1 year anniversary, and she tried it at Ashley thing. And Sharice couldn't get a word in edgewise. And even when they were filming for the last episode, you notice how they kind of came over and Sharice got up and went over there to where the men were because they was filming. Monique wasn't there. So she didn't have any, they didn't let it come up. But Giselle brought it up in the confessional. And that's where Monique is probably going to have Bravo between a rock and a hard place, because at the end of the day, we agreed to not even talk about it. But y'all allowed Giselle to say rumor on the street is that she's getting a little too friendly and a little too close to her trainer. See, all that's going to play a part. So, yeah, like I said, like and subscribe. Let's talk about it. Let's see where we all are. And I'll be back with the next review on this upcoming Sunday. It's going to be an hour and a half. And it should close out everything. And hopefully some things are answered. Hopefully some people get real and say some stuff. And hopefully we see where it goes. But other than that, this is going to be interesting. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.